Stay with us because we'd like to talk about introducing some edible plants into your landscape. It's so enjoyable. Attracts the birds, but you'll enjoy it yourself. One of the plants that are so popular for grandchildren and for the birds is a high bush blueberry. They don't bear all their fruit at once. You pick a few berries right through the season, and they are delicious. Once you get to the time of year that we've had a bit of heat and sunshine, then you really get the flavor bursts when you check on these these plants. The varieties are endless. You require 2 varieties for pollination, so you have to have 2 different varieties in your mix. The size of the plant can suit your landscape because some of them grow fairly tall, up to maybe 6 feet, and some of them are going to stop at 3 or 4 feet or a meter. I know that I think in the old school. But if you look at the fruit size, they'll all develop fairly large fruit, and when the fruit is fully ripe, it is just the greatest thing. You'll enjoy your cereal so much more the rest of the season. The larger plants start to produce in a shorter period of time. We used to sell a lot of the very small plants, but that market we've kind of moved over to something because they are slow to produce wood. So buy the biggest one the budget will allow you to have. Now blueberries aren't your thing, then if we're moving along, one of the the favorites in Europe is currants. Maybe not as many people use them in our area, but there's black currants, red currants, and white currants. And they can be just great. The next batch of cookies that you decide to make should have some fresh currants in it, or muffins. The combination of different fruits is quite amazing. I mean, gooseberries. If you have a gooseberry bush in the yard, it's pretty hard to walk by that section of the landscape without having a few taste samples. The collection that we're carrying, besides hazelnuts and service berries, a lot of them are sort of designed towards attracting birds, but they don't have to be, because they can be really beneficial. If you were thinking about like a kiwi vine, why the kiwi grow freely in our area. It takes a long time to really start producing, and you have to be sure that you have the pollinator for the variety you plant. It's really unusual how well grapes do in our area. You can get a seedless red, blue, white grape, and they take a bit of space. They like a really sunny place. If you take the time to put them in an area where you can cover them through one frost in the fall, most of the sugar comes late in the season. That they really will have lots of return for you in a relatively short time. And it's just so nice to be able to, say have one growing up over the side of your deck, so you can, you can enjoy them as they ripen, or you can watch the birds enjoy them for you, which happens a lot in our area. There's a group of bushes on this side which have gained popularity. This is the family called haskap, or honeyberry. It's one of the plants that has a really great antioxidant. They're super healthy. I don't find they taste as good as blueberries, but I'm sure that that you could mix them in a smoothie and they'd be fine. Plums are just something that you can grow in a reasonably short time. There's a few of the varieties that are self-fertile. The cherry bushes, what a wonderful thing to have in the yard. You can see that our cedar waxwings have been sort of enjoying these, and when they're fully ripe, the pie cherries are quite nice to eat if you like something a little on the tart side. We do carry sweet cherries, and the sweet cherries, you have to watch a bit where you plant them, but they do well in the sheltered parts of our area. And as I mentioned, the plums, there's endless supply. We had a heavy wind here yesterday, and unfortunately, a few upset and lots of fruit got knocked off. But when we're walking through the fruit tree section, you need a sunny part of the lawn to plant a fruit tree and a little bit of opening. If you're doing a semi-dwarf apple or a plum or a pear, then you need to have some good sunlight for them. But the supply or the collection, the number of different varieties will just, you can have your Honeycrisp, or you could have a Cortland. The old favorites are still on the market. Alexander, the Macintosh family are great. And you need 2 different varieties here again for that pollination, but it's quite interesting to see how large the fruit gets on these little plants where we're watering them. We don't encourage homeowners to leave fruit on at first. It's awfully hard on a plant when the wind shakes them around, because they get loaded with fruit, and you can actually break the main trunk of the tree. But with these, you plan to stake them, plan about 5 years to see them starting to produce. You really generally are looking for a tree that's got a trunk about the size of an orange or softball a ball to be in a position to produce. But it's pears, it's peaches, it's plums, it's cherries, a variety of apples, and so you could have whatever fruits your family are more likely to enjoy. So if you want to eat healthy and your family enjoy fruit, then there's nothing like planting your own apples and enjoy. I mean, the satisfaction you get from producing some of your own is unbelievable. And you get flowers in the spring, fruit in the fall, so it's an ornamental as well as a practical thing to put in. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.